Show me your hands now! Show your hands! Stay down! Show your hands! Turn around.
Right, stand there. Your hands up for me.
Turn around.
Wow, what's all this about?
Don't know, mate. Don't know what.
You don't know what it's about. You've handcuffed me.
Right, relax.
I'm relaxed. You relax.
Right, don't face me.
Don't face you?
Oh, yes, don't
Why?
face me. You're getting aggressive towards me.
I'm getting aggressive because I'm asking why you've got me cuffed.
Yeah. Relax.
Well, tell me what your grounds for having me cuffed.
Huh?
What's your grounds? You need grounds to. You can't just go up and members of the public, right, and handcuff people like this.
Right. From Bishopsgate Police Station, and PT Tutwell, we're searching under Section 1, okay?
What's your grounds?
Grounds for yourself has been, or you've probably been seen with a knife, okay?
A knife?
That's why, yeah, potentially, yeah. That's why you're searched.
Wow.
When the second officers arrived, they immediately escalated. Tasers were out. There was no conversation, and two auditors who were calmly filming on the public pavement were rushed into detention. The reason given was a supposed sighting of a knife. That claim, however, wasn't based on anything anyone had seen. It came from private security and was simply passed on to the officer. No checks, no questions, just handcuffs and a shaky shout of Section 1. But Section 1 of PACE doesn't let police act on gossip. It requires reasonable grounds, and a person filming from a pavement isn't one of them. The officers made no attempt to assess the scene before using force. One quick look would have shown there were no weapons, no danger, and no criminal act. Instead, they relied entirely on an unverified tip and called that lawful grounds for search and detention. That isn't merely bad practice. It's legally unsupportable.
What are you filming?
Is it illegal to film?
No, it depends where you're going to film and what you're doing.
Am I in a public place?
I don't know. When you're trying to go in buildings and in private
No one's
car
trying to go.
parks, and in
No one's
private car parks,
no one's tried to go in there, sir. I mean, don't forget. Listen, let me tell you this, sir. Right? Don't forget, you've got a phone call alleging that people have got knives. Have you found any knives?
No.
So people are lying then, aren't they?
Not necessarily. It's
Well,
members of the public.
Huh?
Members of the public. So doesn't matter.
It does matter.
You're going in and out of buildings you should not be going in.
Have you got any proof that we have been in any buildings that we're not supposed to?
We're checking the CCTV.
I suggest you do before you make stupid allegations like that,
made
sir.
an allegation.
What's your number, please?
I haven't made an allegation.
What's your number, please?
I haven't made.
You've just told me that I've been trying to go into buildings.
No, I said the allegation is from public that you've been going in buildings. I haven't said I've seen you doing it.
So he said it's a knife. You were saying that we're supposed to be going in buildings.
Members of public have told us. So that's all we're going by.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Okay.
Right. So all they're going to do is just take your details.
No, they're not. I bet they don't.
You're going to refuse to give your details.
I'm not going to refuse, but am I your bloods? If I'm your bloods, I'll give you them.
After a full search turned up nothing, the sergeant showed up and immediately started throwing out wild accusations. When the auditors asked why they were being treated like criminals, he said, "I don't know. You're trying to go in buildings and private car parks." That was offered with no proof, no footage, and no reports of trespass. Just a hurried claim to justify a search that found nothing. Then came a revealing moment. The auditor asked, "Have you found any knives?" The sergeant admitted, "No." When the auditor said, "Someone's lying," the sergeant replied with one of the most absurd lines of the whole encounter. "Members of the public, it doesn't matter." That sentence tells you everything. He was effectively saying anonymous, possibly false, claims were enough to detain and search people, and that the truth, once uncovered, didn't matter.
Sorry?
If I am obliged to give my details, I will. If I'm not obliged, then it's not refusal, is it? It's not a refusal.
Well, you don't have to give your details.
Yeah, so that's not refusing then, is it?
I'm not going to stand up.
Yeah, because you've tried to word things, don't you, man?
Does anyone, I'm just asking because I don't know what's been asked of you already. Does anyone
listen, I'm not going to give you no hard time, mate, you know.
Just so you know, I'm not ignoring you. I don't want to ask you the same questions that officers have already asked.
No, I'm saying I'm not going to give you no hard time.
Has anyone asked this gentleman, or have you been asked what photos you're taking and what you're taking images of?
Sarge, can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course you can.
Right. Do you know the police, right? They work on what they know, don't we? We don't work on what potential.
I do. I work on potential.
Right.
I work on why are three individuals here taking pictures of vehicles parked in the back of buildings,
going up to the back of buildings.
That's what I work on. That's not normal behaviour.
Okay.
For me,
under
Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, we have a power to search you and search any images you've taken.
When the auditor pointed out that police should act on facts, not possibilities, the sergeant shot back. "I do. I work on potential." That isn't a slip of the tongue. It's a rejection of how lawful policing must work. The law doesn't allow officers to detain people on a hunch. It demands clear, objective grounds. Potential is not a legal standard. It's a path to policing imagination instead of crime. The sergeant then tried to justify the search by asking, why are 3 individuals taking pictures of vehicles parked at the back of buildings? As if that question alone proves wrongdoing. It doesn't. Filming from a public space, even if it includes private property or luxury cars, is legal. People photograph cars as a hobby all the time. The only potential in view was the sergeant projecting his own assumptions onto a scene he hadn't bothered to understand.
You've got to have grounds.
I have got grounds. I've just given you the grounds.
And let me tell you this, Sarge.
Plainclothes officers be taking photos of vehicles, and why are you at the back of a building, coming up to the back of this building? I want to see if you've taken
Because
images.
the security guard engaged me in conversation and asked me what I was doing.
Right, and why did the security guard ask you what he was doing?
Because I was looking at that car there, because it's a sports car.
What car where? Oh, okay, right. For me,
That's all.
looking into the basement area of the back of a building is suspicious behaviour.
Suspicious is not against the law.
No, it isn't.
Right.
It gives us grounds under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act.
I know you're saying
to
knife
search
up
your
there,
stuff.
Sarge.
Right, so that's
You've
where we
already
are.
done that?
No, we haven't. We searched under Section 1 because we were told there was a knife.
Okay.
So you haven't been searched under Section 43(1).
No, but you've searched us, so you don't need to search us again then.
Well, we can search your images under
Yeah,
Section
but you've got it up. Right, listen, let me tell you this then, right? There's a memo that went about to all police stations, right, to say that photography in public is not illegal and
No,
shouldn't
it's
be
not.
used, and listen, let me finish though, this is the important bit, right, and shouldn't be used less than to use Section 43 under. Yeah, it does.
But we're not saying
and that. That
You're
comes from the
taking
National
images.
Chief
You're looking
Constable.
at images. Doesn't matter. Within the back of a back of a building, that's suspicious behaviour. And for me, that is covered under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act.
Even after the knife allegation collapsed and the Section 1 search found nothing, the sergeant wouldn't drop it. The auditor explained exactly what happened. Security approached and asked what he was doing. He said he was looking at a sports car. The sergeant even acknowledged the car. Yet instead of stepping back, he doubled down. For me, looking into the basement area at the back of a building is suspicious behavior, he said. That's not suspicion based on facts. It's a stretch based only on how things looked. Wise, he used that stretch to claim more power. When the auditor reminded him that mere suspicion isn't an offense, the sergeant agreed, and then said something outrageous. It gave them grounds under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act to search the auditor's images. This came after they had already used Section 1 for the knife search and found nothing. So rather than stop, he threatened to use terrorism powers to examine private images. That isn't lawful escalation. It's retaliation. It's an officer moving the goalposts because the original excuse failed.
So what will happen now, you're going to be let go, but I'd strongly suggest, obviously, if you are filming and auditing, to be exceptionally careful with what you're doing, because we will get called back again, and it's likely...
And you'll treat us fairly, you'll treat us fairly, won't you?
Listen, that's what we've done now, haven't we?
No.
Now that you don't suspect anything, can I come out with
Of course I can, and that was what I said.
Yeah,
So,
Ali,
that's what I was
no,
saying.
that's unwanted contact. It's unwanted contact. Get off me, man.
Let go of him. Listen.
Don't talk like
Listen.
that. Don't talk to me like that, Sergeant. I won't talk to you like that.
Listen. That's all I've said. Listen. How's that rude? I'm asking you to listen.
If I'm shouting,
You're shouting, I'm
no,
not.
if I was shouting, you're shouting. Listen.
I'm just saying listen, because you're looking
Don't
at
lie.
Listen to me a minute, right? So, based on what I was being told, looking in the building, obviously my colleague's got some more information now, and we've had a discussion, and we agree, we all agree. Listen, we all agree there's not enough under Section 43. That's what I was trying to get to. We've got to that, right? But your behaviour, taking images and photos...
Is it illegal?
No, it's not illegal.
Well, there you go then, so will you stop saying that, please?
Because we don't know until we stop and talk to you and deal with it. We don't know until we stop and talk to you what you've been doing.
I got roughed up, man.
5. The Section 1 search found nothing, and the sergeant admitted filming itself wasn't illegal. Still, he lingered, trying to paint the auditor's actions as suspicious, not because of anything they did, but because of where they were standing and what they were pointing a camera at. It's grasping at straws. There was nothing actionable, so he couldn't take further steps, but he kept talking as if there might be. He repeated the word behavior, like saying it gives the story weight. It doesn't, not under the law. The threat had gone. The justification had collapsed. Now he was filling silence to save face. hoping presence alone would make his earlier actions look justified.
Well, I didn't rough you up, so you was put in cuffs.
Clown did.
That's your words, not mine. You was put in handcuffs for whatever reasons. I wasn't here when you was being cuffed, all right? So, but we've had a conversation now, so you've been stopped. The initial allegation for a Section 1 search was because we were told there were knives seen. That's why.
Sarge, listen, I don't feel as though we've had a conversation. I feel as though I've been shouted at.
Well, I haven't raised my voice, so you have, but I haven't. I haven't needed.
That wasn't right, you know, Sarge.
Right.
But Sarge, can I ask you just
I've asked you to listen, that's all.
Okay, can I ask you to listen then?
Yeah, of course.
Can you have a copy of my stop search? You're the sergeant.
I didn't stop searching, but I didn't stop searching.
Because I've called him a clown, he doesn't want to give me it.
Well, it's your right to have a copy of that.
Well, tell him then.
So,
excuse me, clown.
Hello.
Sergeant said you've got to give me a copy of the stop
I
search.
said you're entitled to a copy of your stop
that's
search.
fine.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Now, I haven't got it on me.
Oh, you there, most of.
Listen.
Create it. Listen to the officer. He'll explain, all right?
That's
He's
what
not
I'm
an
saying.
officer. He's not an officer, Sarge. He's a constable.
Right. He's still an officer.
No, he's not.
Do you want to listen? Do you want to listen?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Give me your email and I'll do that. Or you can go in front of British State Police Station and you can collect a paper copy. Do you understand?
See you later then. Ta-da. Are you getting a copy? He's got a copy, He's got a copy. You little tyrant.
The officers walked away thinking it was over, but it wasn't. Taub and the other auditor took the unlawful detention to HNK solicitors and the force was forced to respond. They offered no apology and admitted no wrongdoing, only a backpedal wrapped in legal wording. Their line was that an officer thought he'd seen something like a sheath and passed on that vague observation. That was enough, apparently, for another officer to escalate. Tasers drawn, handcuffs, and a full Section 1 search. Even though there was no knife and no actual threat, only speculation passed along as fact. Their reply made things worse. The force stood by its actions, claiming the handcuffing, detention, taser threat, and pepper spray were lawful and proportionate, all based on a face covering and a gray bag. Not one officer had confirmed the presence of a weapon before acting. They built a full use of force response on a guess and called it policing. Then, instead of admitting the mistake, they dressed it up as reasonable suspicion. Their words couldn't hide the truth. The final concrete outcome was telling: £500 paid in settlement. After all the excuses and legal-sounding explanations, after the official claim that the stop was lawful and proportionate, the force still chose to settle. Why pay if they believed they were right? Because, deep down, they knew the story didn't hold. No knife, no offense, no grounds, just an overreaction backed by poor judgment and vague assumptions. Once lawyers were involved, their position fell apart because it couldn't stand up to the facts. This case unraveled the moment tasers were produced. Officers had acted on second-hand claims without any confirmation, escalated instantly, and carried out a Section 1 search based on something like a sheath. That wasn't evidence, it was guesswork. Even after nothing was found, the sergeant tried to reach for Section 43 terrorism powers to dig deeper. That's not policing. It's scrambling to cover mistakes. The most telling detail was the sergeant's attitude. He admitted no law had been broken yet refused to disengage, leaning on behavior and discomfort as if those were crimes. An officer saying, "I work on potential," is not describing professional police work. They are admitting they bypass legal standards. That mindset led to an unlawful detention, unnecessary force, and a forced payout, all over a camera and a sports car. What should have happened was simple: observe, engage, and verify. Not arrive with tasers aimed and assumptions already made. If an officer had spent even 30 seconds assessing the scene instead of running with a story from private security, none of this would have happened. But this is a recurring failure. Act first, justify later, and hope the paperwork covers the damage. In the end, this wasn't just one bad stop. It was an example of how power is misused when officers stop relying on facts and start reacting to feelings. The settlement confirmed what the footage showed. This wasn't proportionate. It wasn't reasonable. It wasn't justified. It was unlawful from the start, and only the auditor's persistence forced any accountability.